Hey, it's Steve. Please like and subscribe. So just click on the Deck Heroes icon, please. Don't ask anything else. Never any money. It's completely free. Click on the Deck Heroes icon. Click on subscribe. Do it now before you forget. Then we get into the video. Okay, so this one is all about how to fight in a ball, such as, I don't know, KVK. KVK. Right. So this, depending on where it goes, and obviously I don't know where it's going to go, this barbarian represents your team. I guess, this barbarian, the level 47, represents their team. This line here, the purple line, just represents the battle line. And I know it's not perfect because this barb and this barb, these two barbs would be much closer. And very likely it'd be some kind of game between going close to each other than walking away, almost like you're trying to draw somebody onto your side of the battle line of death. And that's really what this is about. So I tried to do a video during an actual battle, and obviously everything is chaos and everything's dynamic, and I can't control any variables. Therefore, it's kind of very difficult, but I wanted to explain it here. So in this example, I've got 5 armies. And obviously you can see it's kind of like in a half circle. Okay, this is what we already know. Right, so the person that is safest is Belisarius. There's the battle line. This is where he's fighting. Presumably one of their, okay. You go about what you want to do, level 51 barbarian. Anyway, so he no longer represents one of our team. In fact, he represents, if he does represent one of our team, he's crossed into their line. So of course, his probability of death has just gone up quite considerably from where he was. But anyway, so say that they did that to, the enemy went over to our side. And in fact, you never usually go this far above battle line to be dead before then. They usually do this and then they go back. Let's say they made a mistake. They get to about here. We've surrounded them. This is where we finished. Oh, happy days. Happy days, happy days. But as I said, more often it's going to be at or very near the battle line, right? So if you just imagine that this Lohar was actually close to the battle line, right? Then quite clearly, at the point where we spread out in this kind of half circle, this particular person, the Belisarius, is the one that's most safe. It's further away from the battle line. Then it's closely followed by these two, Boudica and what is your name? Let's have a quick. It might be Matilda, but then again it might not. No, it's not. Yes, it is. And the other one is Diocan. All right, cool. So Boudica, Matilda, not as safe as Belisarius. Belisarius is a bit further away from the battle line. But Matilda, Boudica, still a reasonable distance away from the battle line, but much closer. And obviously the closest of all is Aloha and Diocan. All that to say this. Obviously, if you're using 5 armies, there is that chance that you may well be closer to the battle line or maybe even above that battle line. Just say that you're in a ball and it's not only you attacking a given commander, somebody is going to be on this side of the circle, okay? And if that is you, that army is probably dead in the same way that this army that kind of went across the battle line was dead for them. What I'm really saying is, you just got to be mindful of how long, the starting battle position for your army. You know what I mean? You have to be mindful if they go from attacking to walking. And I know there's a lag. So if you think you want to walk a short distance and your armies are walking a longer distance, or they were fighting and now they're walking again, then you might want to just double tap on a commander on the right hand side and then just drag away. Otherwise you are walking into what's known as the death zone. Basically above that battle line. That's where yours and their armies kind of meet. That's their battle line. This is our battle line on this side. Be mindful of that. So as I said, if somebody else from your team joins a fight against one given enemy, your 5 armies, should you have 5, will start off here and somebody's got to be there. So, knowing that, and knowing there's always an expectation that at least one army is going to join a battle against a given enemy, especially if it's a Belisarius that picks up or something like that, pops up, you know, a safe number is probably about 3 armies. Unless you, like myself, haven't got like high tech and you got the resources and you got the speed ups, you know you can cover things. But also, if you're looking for efficient trade-offs, probably about 3 armies is something that's a bit more manageable for the reasons that I've explained. As soon as you get above 5 armies, you go from half circle to something closer to a full circle, and those armies north of that full circle are going closer to their battle lines, closer to the zone of death. Another thing that you might notice is that usually there's like one army that goes towards their battle lines and then kind of pulls away, and it goes close and it pulls away. What they're trying to do is tempt somebody to surround this given troop, the Belisarius, in that same scenario. So he'll go there, 5 armies will surround, maybe a few others, and at least 1 or 2 armies will be drawn across the battle lines where they will be met. So you might be sitting here behind the lines waiting for somebody else to make that mistake. That's another key thing to look for. I think that's one of the main things. So I would probably recommend, until you're kind of adept at this thing, or if you want to be active, I think 3 armies is safe. So if you kind of minus these, say these are waiting here, you've got 3 armies, 2 waiting in reserve, or maybe if you had 4, then you might well be kind of going to the battle line and then kind of walking away, trying to bait them to kind of latch onto you with multiple armies. So once that has walked back, you're already double tapping on your commanders to the right and selecting as a red circle whoever has followed you on the wrong side of the tracks. And then as you see, as is happening here, that you start going across that battle line, and I know this is going to be the fog of war and it's not always easy to see, and look how this one didn't even go. Everybody else goes. I did the same thing, I double tapped, and one didn't go. Not so much of a problem when it's on our side. Slightly bigger problem when you're on that side wanting to walk back. I think that more or less covers it. So anyway, please like, subscribe. Don't forget to subscribe. That is Steve, and I'm out.